Every year leaves behind moments, moments that push us, moments that break us, and moments that rebuild us. But 2025 gave us something more. Voices that pushed us to think deeper, and moments that reminded us of who we can become. As we step into 2026, here are the motivations that will make you bolder, stronger, and unstoppable.
I think the conviction, if you're doing everything right and you're not, if you think what you are doing is right, then you have the confidence to stand up for it and keep fighting for it, because why shouldn't you? And again, I've said that, I come from a long line of women who also are happy to speak their minds. So that the two things combined give me, I guess, the confidence to do whatever I think is right.
Every day is a new day. And perhaps I need to say that today is the first day of the rest of my life. There's still a lot to do for my institution, for society in general. And I'm an eternal optimist. I always believe that things can get better and better. I think finally it's also about how kind we are as a society to one another. Any of these challenges can be overcome if we have a sense of better understanding, compassion, more latitude that we give each other at an individual level, at organizational levels. I think that's very important.
I don't give up that easily. I'll keep doing something. If it doesn't work, I'll get at it again. I have to be slightly crazy because it's a roller coaster ride, and to be wanting to put yourself through that means that you're slightly off. So that's not a quality, but that's a prerequisite, I would say. There are moments of great excitement and moments of despair, and all of that on the same day or the same hour, you don't know. But there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of ups and downs. So that's one, resilience is one for sure. Checking your ego at the door and starting every time to learn something new is absolutely critical.
My father has one thing in his life that he spent his whole life doing it. That's all that he's dedicated his life to. It's filled with ideas and principles and ideals. I mean, that's of course his work in building the company and so on. And the best expressions of himself he put into that company and so on. And so I see him as this person who's deeply dedicated to one thing. My mother is very different. My mother can do nearly anything. Like my father doesn't seek to do nearly anything. He wants to only do one thing. Whereas my mother is, there's always a new reinvention and incredible amount of energy every time and positivity. So I see that as the older I grow, the more I want to imbibe that.
Distinguishing factor is to keep the ramen your shop consistent. I feel with Naru, that's maybe something that we've achieved. But being consistent, I feel, is probably our superpower. Things can go wrong anytime. If something has to go wrong, it will. It's a challenge every day to be able to think on your feet and proactively solve when something you see is going wrong.
By having their faith and knowing that I kind of had to be a bit self-sufficient in doing a lot of these things, it gave me the confidence that I needed. And sometimes all you need is confidence to be successful. And of course, a little hard work and self-belief. Great, be happy that you're getting awards or be happy that you're getting on lists or whatever, but you're only as successful as the last plate of food you put out. You're only as successful as the last happy guest to leave the restaurant, and it's really about working at it every day, staying humble, making relationships with your regulars, because it's what happens in the restaurant that counts. It's not the awards.
A lot of people just feel that once certification is done and they get that piece of paper and they put it on the wall, they're coaches. No, it does not work like that. Because I was interested in relearning and my only thing was to tell these guys that when you finish this, you're just at the starting line. This is not the finish line. It is just you go and stand at the start line, and now people race.
Sometimes you can be doing something very small and very incremental, but how do you keep chipping away at it and having the conviction that ultimately, changing the world baad mein hoga. You have to kind of change what's right in front of you. So I think that it can become difficult, especially in the work that we also do, because we're talking about like large, hairy problems, and whether it's gender inequality, whether it's poverty, whether it's anything at my level. What is the one thing I can do? And then let me just go do that. And then everything else will take care of itself.
Consistency, and that's the challenge, and that's what I often tell writers, for example. Like, you write your piece and then, that becomes iconic and that's what's being read by people over and over again. You don't have to write it every day. In my business, you have to do it every hour. And you constantly driving that. And there's just so many moving parts. There's so many dynamics at play that, the dynamics beyond your control sometimes. You don't even know what's happening outside if you're stuck in the kitchen and something could be going terribly wrong or terribly right.
You have to do what you were doing before continuously to show that that is what is the value that you have. They're going to learn only by example, and certainly in my case also that was what I saw. Those before me doing all the rituals so strictly, despite all the odds they faced, showed that that had so much value to them. And I think that is what we need to enshrine in them as well. That is a great development in the sense that you have responsibility now. If you can be a good family man or a good family woman, I think that is a building block towards leadership in a greater context as well.
You're just exposed to so much stimulus all around you that it's so easy to fall off your consistency track. And consistency could be in anything. It could be a commitment you made to yourself, it could be commitment to fitness, it could be commitment to work, anything, right? And I think if you're able to stay consistent, there is a certain character trait that you're building, and that character trait will always help you remain strong.
Ultimately, doing the right thing takes you much faster to your destination than incrementally sort of moving there. So I think I've learned to value that ability a lot. The grass is probably green where you take care of it. So no matter where you go, it's your attitude and perspective that will matter. So I think those are probably the two big things that I would advise anyone getting into either a family business or even just work in general. Spend time on the relationships and respect, and I think fight your own instinct to quit. As you grow bigger, there's a tendency to take less and less risk.
What makes me happy is a day that I've learned something new. So some days, the day is just so full of things. I've just been running to keep in the same place and I haven't learned anything new. And then I get frustrated. But what makes me look forward is if it's a day where I'm learning something, and typically climate change is related to so many different aspects.
It's huge.
Most of the days I'm learning something new, either in the classroom from the students or putting together curriculum or writing a paper, and then I'm happy because I'm not doing this. It's never, I think, doing something where I became an expert, that I was so expert that I was comfortable, would be very boring and satisfying for me. I always have to sort of do something where I'm learning from scratch.
As I mentioned, that led to desperation, leech-like attitude, shamelessness. I went from door to door house. So all the best assets developed when I had nothing. And you have nothing to lose. And if you have 100% faith, you will still make it. I think that magic formula has always worked. It's about just hold on. Remember that bad times will not last, but you will have to hold on. And that always works.
Strength isn't found in the year that passes. It is found in what you carry into the next one. May these words guide you, fuel you, and remind you that your journey is just the beginning. From all of us at the New Indian Express, we wish you a bold and beautiful 2026.